3, 2, fun.
Wow.
Imagine music.
Well, hello, everyone.
Oh,
Hey, what's up?
hey.
Hey, you're not
Am I
sharing,
not sharing
your
my
screen, Gary.
Well, crud. Hang on here just a minute. Well, while I'm doing that tonight, we're going to be talking about, we're going to be reading Genesis 47 and then Matthew 7. Hello, Calyx. He says, yo, we back, boys. We are indeed. We are indeed. And then
What up, dog? Man, it's crazy. You say we're going to Genesis 47 because I
Hey,
opened
how
right
about
to
that?
it.
How
It's a
about
miracle.
that?
Praise the Lord.
All right, which screen am I sharing here? All right. Y'all got it? There we go.
Yep.
There we
Nope.
go.
I
Sweet.
don't know if I do.
All right.
Now it's working.
So, can y'all hear me okay? Trevor, you got the live stream up per chance? Oh, wait, no, we're good. We're good.
Yes,
I just had a
you're
sound.
good. I can hear you on both.
Yeah.
Technologically.
Nice. Thank you, sir. Yeah, so, and then we're going to talk about, we're going to end the night with Kenneth Copland, an interview with Kenneth Copland. That was interesting. We'll see how that goes. So, yeah, that's all I got. So,
You said Matthew 7 in the middle, right?
Yeah, Matthew 7, right.
Yes.
Okay, well, before we begin, anybody got anything they want to talk about, or how is everybody? How are you? It's been a few weeks. How you been? Brain fog.
You have brain fog now, or you had brain fog the last few weeks?
Forever and always, I will have brain fog.
Oh, well, that's a very bleak outlook on
He's
your
barely sentient.
mental health, Trevor. He's barely sentient. He's like a tree.
I'm from the land of barely there.
Right.
If you remember those stories
Right,
from
okay.
Grandma.
Those are nice to read. That's for my kids. I like it better that way anyway, bro. I like just doing the flow state thing and just going with it. I like it a lot. Honestly, it makes really loyal followers, I think, is what it makes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's because of consistent people like Calyx. Shout out.
Yeah, when you shared the screen, it like messed with it. I can hear Cody. No, you're cut out.
OBS, bro? Old. Oh, I was trying to think of a good acronym, but all curse words.
Hold on, let it catch up.
All right, I just switched it over, so it should it should work now, but now I'm going to have to go in here behind the scenes and try to fix whatever the crud was going on with the share screen. So, Trevor, how are we now?
Hold on, it's
Catching up. All right.
There we go.
All right,
Okay.
we're good.
Well, okay. There he goes. Yeah, we're professionals. It's great. It's just great. Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me try to make that announcement again since this is going so well so far. We're just going to be doing the live stream. I've got a research project I'm doing for work. So that's going to take up my Saturdays.
Not going to be chopping the
so we're not going to be chopping up the live stream and the smaller episodes anymore. Not until the research project is done. And if the Lord willing, that will be like December. So, and then maybe after December, it can go back to the way it was. But for the time being, we're just going to do the live stream. It tends to do better than the smaller episodes anyway. So that's kind of what we're up to. All right, now you two talk amongst yourselves and entertain while I try to fix this volume snafu, whatever it is.
Amongst ourselves.
What Gary's saying is we just need to leave the live on, and then all three of us, when we have 20 seconds here and there, will read like a few verses.
No, man, that sounds awful, actually. I like to have my time available to myself.
That would not work out.
But I really like the live stream platform because it makes loyal followers because people are like, they're genuinely interested in what you want to say, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just whatever you're talking about.
Well, there's channels that all they do is live stream and they just hang out with people online. And that's all they do.
Yeah.
They don't do gaming content. They don't play anything. They might look up some TikToks and watch random TikToks that their viewers send them.
I definitely don't just want to hang out with people on the internet. That's not my vibe. But
unless it's Calyx, we all love Calyx.
No, I was just saying.
So, yeah.
Except Calyx.
We'll hang out with Calyx all night long.
How about now? Am I audible on the live stream? Because I found a new way that OBS messes with you if this actually worked. He's waiting. Still waiting. Great.
Yeah, you're good.
So I realized that the reason it wasn't working last time is because the channel was active, and now OBS won't let you turn microphones on whenever the channel's active on the stream. So it's found a new way to make your world difficult. It's wonderful. I hate OBS. I hate it. If I had more money, I'd pay for StreamYards. But anyway.
Yeah, I was going to try and do Riverside last week, but it's like all AI. The whole thing.
What does that mean?
No. Yeah, there's a new one, a new type of it's kind of like OBS. It's called Riverside, but basically you tell, just like ChatGPT or whatever, you tell it what you want to do, and it sets the whole stream up for you.
I might do that. I ain't proud. I don't care if it's a computer. So, Riverside.
It's called Riverside. Mm-hmm. Riverside streaming.
I actually have another program.
And that's
I
what
I might have actually used that program for work. Podcasts I deal with at work.
That's what a lot of the newer kids are doing.
Them kids, they're staying on top of that. Actually, yeah, I think because I'm not doing it so much now, but for a while I was doing editing for another podcast. I think they might have been using Riverside actually, which is very interesting. So, okay. All right. Well, who wants to begin by reading Genesis? All right.
I'll get into it. I got my glasses on anyway. Might as well.
He's glassing.
I don't know
glassing. Then Joseph
Sorry, go on.
Then Joseph came and told Pharaoh and said, "My father and my brethren and their flocks and their herds and all that they have are come out of the land of Canaan. And behold, they're in the land of Goshen." And he took some of his brethren, even 5 men, and presented them unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto his brethren, "What is your occupation?" And they said unto Pharaoh, "Thy servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers." They said moreover unto Pharaoh, "For to sojourn in the land are we come, for thy servants have no pasture for their flocks, for the famine is sore in the land of Canaan. Now there is for, we pray thee, let thy servants dwell in the land of Goshen."
That
What's
means
that
they're
mean,
gonna
Gary?
live in Egypt. There you
Okay.
go.
Is Goshen right next to the
No,
ocean?
I don't
Or
remember
is that
exactly where Goshen is, but it's an actual location in Egypt. I do remember that. We can Google it.
I know about the
It's-
motion of the ocean.
It's probably by the Nile
Google
River.
it. We can always Google things. So where's the land of Goshen in Egypt, huh?
Do you know about the motion
Nope.
of the ocean?
Mm-mm.
You don't? Oh,
I don't think he ever owned a waterbed.
that's what. Yeah, those things were crazy. The 80s was a crazy time.
I accidentally poked a hole in one of those once.
I don't think it was an accident knowing you.
I feel like this is derailing.
I think you were probably playing with an ink pen or something, and you were like, "Oh, whoops."
All right, let's see here. According to AI,
I was pretty
Goshen
young,
is
I don't remember.
located in the northeastern Nile Delta of Egypt. It is believed to have been situated near the Pelusiac branch of the Nile, close to the Mediterranean Sea and the border of Canaan. Well, there you
Called
go.
it.
Right.
Well, the Nile does go right through Egypt,
Mhm.
doesn't it?
I mean, it
It's
was a good
it's-
guess.
It's the one that turned to blood.
Yeah. The old bloody river. All right. 5. And Pharaoh spake unto Joseph, saying, "Thy father and thy brethren are come unto thee. The land of Egypt is before thee. In the best of the land, make thy father and brethren to dwell. In the land of Goshen, let them dwell. And if thou knowest any men of activity among them, then make them rulers over my cattle." And Joseph brought in Jacob his father and set them before Pharaoh. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto Jacob, "How old art thou?" And Jacob said unto Pharaoh, "The days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years. Few and evil have the days of the years
That was
of
because
my
he was a
life been.
polygamist. But anyway, go on.
Few and
Yes,
evil?
few and evil.
It says
Hectic days.
He's admitting his
No,
guilt
he's
in
saying he
being
was
a
miserable.
polygamist? You think?
yeah, in the NIV it says
Yeah.
difficult.
I'm making a joke,
It
by
was
the way. That's not a
difficult.
theological claim, just so you know. But yeah. Few
All
and
right.
evil of my days have been. He's had a hard time of it.
Have not attained unto the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage. Wow, what a sentence. That wasn't even the whole sentence. I'm
Go
going to read
for
the
it.
whole sentence again. It's the whole verse, dude. It's the whole verse is a sentence.
Use the commas.
And Jacob said unto Pharaoh, "The days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years. Few and evil have the days of the years of my life been, and have not attained unto the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage." That was
did
ridiculous.
it. You did it.
Okay. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh because he made such a large, ridiculous sentence. Sorry. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh and went out from before Pharaoh. And Joseph placed his father and his brethren and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, in the land of Ramses, as Pharaoh had commanded. And Joseph nourished his father and his brethren and all his father's household with bread according to their families.
I
Yes,
have a
sir.
question.
Yeah.
Is that the same Ramses as
No.
Moses' Ramses, or is
This
this
is
like
like
his
400
great
years before
grandfather?
Moses. So it'd be a different
Right.
Ramses.
Okay. So
by the way, Calix
so is
says,
this
"Hey, let's go. Thanks." I'm assuming he's referring to a comment we said earlier, but I felt like I needed to read that. So
Yeah, he could finally hear all of
'cause
us.
we're professionals. So okay, sorry. Go on, Trevor. So yeah, this was 400 years before Moses.
So is this where they kind of get integrated into Egypt, the Israelites,
Yes,
and how they
yes,
become
this is the lead
slaves?
up to that.
So would you say that Joseph signed them up for
No, it
slavery?
explains it in Exodus later on. So, Amy
Okay.
McLennan, welcome back. It's good to see you. Appreciate the emoji. So, hello.
Good morning.
Like biblical indentured servitude, slavery, as you'd call it. I'm kind of into it. I mean, you work for 7 years and they give you a chunk of land,
That's not
bro.
how that worked. That's not how that. You're gonna
What do you
have to
mean?
read Exodus. They're slaves. They're not indentured servants.
Well, I mean, further on they were though, like the gospel era.
No, that's the Romans. That's like a completely different thing. And the Romans never enslaved anybody. Like the Romans just conquered land and said, "You're ours now." I mean, they did enslave
the
people,
Romans had
but they didn't
slaves.
enslave the Jews like as a country the way that it's talking about here. That's what I mean. Read my mind.
Oh, I
Don't
see.
just listen to my words. So, anyway.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean.
Okay.
Where's your
So,
mind reader?
this is like everything's fine at this point, right? Pharaoh's letting them live in the land because of their relation to Joseph. Everything starts out great. Then another Pharaoh enters the scene and enslaves the people because they're worried about them getting too numerous at about this time. So this is 400 years before Moses. And somewhere between this period and Moses, the people of Israel get enslaved. And it's not indentured servitude. It's just like...
Okay. No, I wasn't talking specifically about this story. I was talking about like the idea of biblical indentured
you're talking
servitude.
about like one form of slavery would be to sell yourself to pay off a debt. That was something that happened back then. Yeah.
But you like the whole thing about land? Like, did I make that
given
up?
a plot of land. I couldn't speak intelligently.
Yeah, you get a plot of land after 7 years.
About that. That I don't know.
I think I read that the other day, and I was like, dude, that's kind of a sweet deal because land is just like a crazy thing to get
It's
anymore.
very hard now. If you get land, you need to grab it because otherwise BlackRock will get it, and you'll own nothing and be happy and eat the bugs, and it'll be great. So yeah. All right, let's stay focused.
Hakuna
Let's
Matata.
just stay focused. Where are we at? I've lost the plot.
13.
13?
Verse
13.
13.
All right, then.
And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by the reason of the famine. Languished is another word for fainted. So they were just like downtrodden and hungry, I guess. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they bought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. Is that a legitimate word in the Bible, in the Hebrew Bible?
Like there's different kinds of grains. I know that they have different words for grains, but
I thought corn was kind of a modern
I don't
invention.
think so. I think they had corn back then too. Okay, Amy says, waiting for potatoes to cook. That sounds nice.
Are you baking them? That sounds good. Baked potatoes.
All right, so yes, I do believe corn. They had corn back then, so.
I don't know. I heard it came from South America. It's a conspiracy. Okay. Where were we? 16?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's say, wait,
Yes.
I think 15.
Yeah. And when money failed in the land of Egypt, in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, Give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. Wow. So their currency
Mm-hmm.
flatlined. That's like what the US dollar is
Yep.
about to do. That's why Trump had the Strait of Hormuz closed off, because he wanted to give the dollar
It's went so
validation.
well. It's all just went so well. But okay, let's move on.
Mhm.
Amy says she's baking the potatoes. Takes long enough. Yeah. Yeah.
Very good. And Joseph said, Give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money fail.
All right.
I don't know what that means.
Well, they're
And
gonna
they brought their
trade.
cattle unto
They're
Joseph.
gonna trade like goods. They're gonna barter because they don't have a currency, basically.
In the NIV, it says, "I will sell you food in exchange for your livestock, since your money is gone."
Yeah. So they're bartering basically.
And they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses and for the flocks and for the cattle of the herds. Why wouldn't they just kill the cattle and eat them instead of eating bread? Bread's
Because
terrible
it's like killing
anyway.
the golden goose. Cows make milk and produce like butter and produce other goods. You don't want to kill.
If you're starving to death, you still
Yeah,
kill
like
the
if you
cow.
run out
though.
of everything, I guess it was the last resort. But
Yes, they're begging their king for bread.
yes, but that means they still got crops. And if you have like grass and crops, you can hopefully you can keep your cattle alive. Like they would eventually kill them if they didn't have a choice, but you know.
I'd kill my own cow before I'm going, please give me some bread, sir. Please. I'm gonna kill the cow.
Well, I mean,
maybe that's stubborn pride. But that's what I'm doing.
I believe you'd do it, but I think they just decided to do it some other way, I guess. I mean,
Well, once again, I think these people are silly.
Okay then. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to cast stones at people alive thousands of years ago, but okay. Where are we at?
Where were we?
18.
18.
Good job.
You want me to take
Trevor.
over? You got it? Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And when that year was ended, they came unto him the second year and said unto him, We will not hide it from my lord, how that our money is spent. My lord also hath our herds of cattle. There is not aught left in the sight of my lord, but our bodies and our land and our lands. Wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh, and give us seed, that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate.
No, this
And
is
Joseph
crazy.
bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh's. And as for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the borders of Egypt, even to the other end thereof. Only the land of the priests bought he not, for the priests had a portion assigned them of Pharaoh, and did eat their portion which Pharaoh gave them. Wherefore they sold not their lands. Then Joseph said unto the people, Behold, I have bought you this day and your land for Pharaoh. Lo, here is seed for you, and ye shall sow the land. So this would be indentured servitude.
Yeah, and did you notice that they started calling him
Yeah.
Lord after that?
So this is
Yeah, dude, this whole story is like, it's like they gave him the land.
they sold
right?
the land for food.
And then they were like,
And then basically Joseph
Yeah,
took them to the cities for a time. Then presumably he sent them back and gave them seed, and it was basically like, you're going to get your land back, but now you're going to grow crops for us type of deal. So it'd be like feudalism.
and
It'd be a little bit like feudalism.
Yeah.
So he became
So it was
their
like they
landlord.
came in, he gave him a gift, and he was like, wait a minute, I need to make money off these people. And then so they did the whole
You're being
famine thing.
uncharitable. They sold their currency for land, then the currency for food, then the currency failed, then they bartered, then they sold their land, then they sold themselves, And Joseph basically bought all this up and then reapportioned everybody by the time the famine was over. Or like resituated everybody. So
Yeah, he owned everybody.
technically
at that
the
point,
Pharaoh owned everybody, but he's doing this on behalf of Pharaoh, yes. So yeah. Hard times.
he now owns a civilization. Like like I said, dude, I would have killed my own cow. They did this to themselves.
I don't know. I mean, I guess we could talk about that for a minute if you want to.
It's like the whole thing is like they're willing to give up their autonomy to live. They're like, hey, give me bread, dude. I'll sell you myself. Whatever, dude. Just feed me. And that's a Messiah outside of yourself, which you're not supposed to look for that, because like Christ, like you have Christ
So
within
you're
you
saying
already.
you'd
So
be better off to die.
you shouldn't look for outside messiahs. Yeah, you use what you have until it's gone, and then if the Lord doesn't provide for you, that I don't know what to tell you, but He will.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if I disagree with you or not. I think that's one of those decisions everybody would have to make for themselves, depending on where they're at. I don't know. It would depend.
I mean, this whole story is like it's a picture of a civilization rising and falling.
Oh, you're not wrong. Yeah, this is definitely Egypt accumulating power as a result of the famine. But they wouldn't have been able to have done it without Joseph's dream.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the point.
I just kind of feel like people do this stuff on purpose, or it's almost like never let a tragedy go to waste.
Rob Emanuel,
you can always
Rob Emanuel. Never let a good crisis go to waste. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's either that or it's done on purpose.
I don't think this was done on purpose, obviously, but yeah, this is how people get power. But this is what they're trying to. I mean, you could argue this is what they're trying to do now by buying. This is why BlackRock was trying to buy up all the houses before Trump, to his credit, shut that down.
This story is also a picture of the Hawaii
Maui
thing,
fires and the LA fires that they totally did not set up. It's kind of funny, isn't it? It's like, oh, in the name of the environment, we're not going to cut anything. What? There was a lightning strike and there was a fire. What? You mean there were a bunch of fires at the same time? Boy, that's a lot of lightning. Weird. And on a windy day? Oh my goodness, so sad. Yeah.
Hey, what's that guy with the blowtorch doing?
You don't need a blowtorch for a cigarette, silly. What are you thinking?
Speaking of fires and conspiracies, there's a new one going around. Junkyards are going up in flames, so you can't buy car parts.
You want to know why? Because there's kill switches in all the new cars. They're gonna.
Well, that's not why. I mean, but
they want to be able to
they don't want you to be
shut your car down whenever they decide there's going to be a crisis, or they want to auto drive the car to the jail.
So you'll be like, Daddy, please give me bread.
I think you're onto something, Cody. I was going to be a dismissive but I think you're onto something. So
we're going to have to go back to Amish rules and do.
Dude, I think so. I'm moving to Japan. I don't know. Somewhere where they're already eating bugs anyway, so it doesn't look like a win. So
Japan looks pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
I think I'd like Japan.
Amy?
Except for the food. I'm allergic to shellfish, so the food situation.
Yeah, we're going to have to get inventive. You're going to have to live off rice stalks and, snails or something.
Yeah.
So, Amy says, I knew it. Exactly. So it's all a conspiracy, man. Yeah. So no, dude, I think that's what they're trying to do. I think they're trying to buy up all the land, create scarcity, and then they're going to turn us all into feudal serfs. I think that's what they're attempting to do.
Well, they can try. They can only do small areas.
Well, Americans.
It works. I mean, it worked in Bolshevik Russia.
Yeah, they're just copying Bolshevik Russia. But hey, Americans still got their guns, so there's that. So, yay. We'll see if that works out. Anyway, I guess we should move on, unless anybody's got any final thoughts on that point.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay. Yeah. All right, where were we at? I lost my place in focus. Let's see here. We were at...
I have no idea.
24, I think.
All right. Then Joseph said unto the people,
24.
Behold, I have bought you this day and your land for Pharaoh. Lo, here is seed for you, and ye shall sow the land. And it shall come to pass in the increase that ye shall give the 5th part unto Pharaoh, and 4 parts shall be your own, for seed of the field, and for your food, and for them of your households, and for food of your little ones. And they said,
20%.
Yep. And they said, Thou hast saved our lives. Let us find grace in the sight of my Lord, and we will be Pharaoh's servants. And Joseph made it a law over the land of Egypt unto this day, that Pharaoh should have the 5th part, except the land of the priests only, which became not Pharaoh's. And Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, in the country of Goshen, and they had possessions therein, and grew and multiplied exceedingly. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years. So the whole age of Jacob was 147 years. And the time drew nigh that Israel must die. And he called his son Joseph, and said unto him, If now I have found grace in thy sight, put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh, and deal kindly and truly with me. Bury me not, I pray thee, in Egypt. But I will lie with my fathers, and thou shalt carry me out of Egypt, and bury me in their burying place. And he said, I will do as thou hast said. And he said, Swear unto me. And he sware unto him. And Israel bowed himself upon the bed's head. And that is 47. We're going to go ahead and do 48 so that we can wrap up Genesis next week, Lord willing. So this will be the beginning of 48. And it came to pass after these things that one told Joseph, Behold, thy father is sick, and he took with him his 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. And one told Jacob and said, Behold, thy son Joseph cometh unto thee. And Israel straightened himself and sat upon the bed. And Jacob said unto Joseph, God Almighty appeared unto me at Luz in the land of Canaan, and blessed me. And he said unto me, Behold, I will make thee fruitful and multiply thee, and I will make of thee a multitude of people, and will give this land to thy seed after thee for an everlasting possession. And now thy 2 sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto thee in the land of Egypt, before I came unto thee in Egypt, are mine, as Reuben and Simeon, they shall be mine. And thy issue, which thou begettest after them, shall be thine, and shall be called after the name of their brethren in their inheritance. And as for me, when I came from Paddan, Rachel died by me in the land of Canaan, in the way, when yet there was but a little way to come unto Ephrath, and I buried her there in the way of Ephrath, and the same is Bethlehem. And Israel beheld Joseph's sons, and said, Who are these? And Joseph said unto his father, They are my sons, whom God hath given me in this place. And he said, Bring them, I pray thee, unto me, and I will bless them. Now the eyes of Israel were dim of age, so that he could not see. And he brought them near unto him, and he kissed them, and embraced them. And Israel said unto Joseph, I had not thought to see thy face, and lo, God hath showed me also thy seed. And Joseph brought them out from between his knees, and he bowed himself with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand toward Israel's left, and Manasseh in his left hand toward Israel's right hand, and brought them near unto him. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hands wittingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. So what's happening is he's about to give Ephraim the primary blessing instead of Manasseh, even though Ephraim is the younger. But Jacob also because Jacob's the younger, he's going to give the blessing to the younger brother here as well. But Joseph wants him to give the blessing to the older. So it's kind of a callback to the whole Jacob and Esau thing. So, and he... Oh, you can start if you want.
Sure.
It's fine.
Go ahead.
We are at 15.
And he blessed Joseph and said, God, before whom my fathers before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac did walk, the God which fed me all my life long unto this day. The angel which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, and let my name be named on them and the name of my fathers, Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth. And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him, and he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head onto Manasseh's head. And Joseph said unto his father, Not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put thy right hand upon his head. And his father refused and said, I know it, my son, I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his seed shall become a multitude of nations. And he blessed them that day, saying, In thee shall Israel bless, saying, God make thee as Ephraim and Manasseh. And he set Ephraim before Manasseh. And Israel said unto Joseph, Behold, I die, but God shall be with you, and bring you again unto the land of your fathers. Moreover, I have given to thee one portion above thy brethren, which I took out of the hand of the Amorite with my sword and with my bow. And that is 48.
Well, Lord willing, next week we will wrap up Genesis by reading 49 and 50. Does anybody have any final thoughts before we move on to Matthew?
That's quite a blessing.
Indeed.
So blessed, bro.
Could you imagine being blessed by
Can you
Israel?
imagine that we actually had a conversation about Charles Schwab and Klaus Schwab and eating bugs in a Bible reading? That was unexpected. It does happen. We tend to ramble.
Hakuna Matata.
So,
I mean, that's why this is cool. It's a live stream, you know. It like catches everybody's attention because it's got all these different little weird, quirky things, right? It's a live stream. We're doing it live.
There's no fake editing.
Editing is not fake. It is certainly time consuming, but it is not fake. Believe me. Anyway, so we are moving on to Matthew 7. Unless somebody has any other comments.
Time for some Matthews.
Judge not. Trevor, you want to start this one?
What's wrong?
Hang on. I gotta reload my page. It messed up on me. Hang on. I don't want Matthew 16. Wait, is that where we're at?
17. 7.
We're on 7.
Amy is like, if he didn't want us to talk about the bugs, he shouldn't have mentioned it. That's fair. That's
true.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of bugs do you like to eat? Yeah. The ones in your
I
burgers.
assume I've got enough parasites to count for my bug diet, so how's that work? There you go.
I think everybody does.
Brings a whole new meaning to bug world, huh?
Told you guys about. I know I told you guys about the cat and the tapeworm. We almost had a cat die of a tapeworm not too long ago. That sucked. So, anyway, all right. On that super pleasant note,
toxoplasmosis, bro.
My turn to read.
If you want to, absolutely.
Matthew 7. King James. Okay.
Yeah.
Judge not that ye be not judged. So who's this talking?
Amy says he wants us to eat crickets, I believe. Yes, I think that's right. Nicole Kidman demonstrated our future diet. And then they've got the cricket protein. And that, what's it called? Chitin, the shell, it like supposedly causes cancer.
Yeah.
You know, so you can die faster.
Yeah.
So you can have cricket cancer protein while you're eating Bill Gates' tumor meat. I mean, you're just going to be a walking blob. It's going to be great. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds great. Trevor, this is, in my Bible, this is red. So this is Christ talking.
Okay.
Jesus talking. Okay. Just making sure. Thank you. Verse 2. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged, and with what measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you again.
Mm-hmm.
And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye?
Yeah.
Yeah, thou hypocrite.
Thou hypocrite.
Thou hypocrite. First cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye.
Yeah, dude. I like that verse. This next one confuses me.
Could you imagine if you're talking to someone and they're just straight up gossiping and you interrupt them and you're like, thou hypocrite? Just say that. Just so
Yeah, it
nobody gets
usually
hurt,
goes
okay?
over really well.
Have you tried it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me? I am perfect. Thank you very much. I don't know what you're talking about.
Thou hypocritus. All right, we're on verse 6, right?
Yeah.
Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you.
I was always taught, and I don't know if
That
this
is
is true,
deep.
but I was always taught this meant don't give advice to people who don't want it. Basically, it's like don't give unwelcome advice because people
It
don't
makes sense.
value it, and they'll just kind of crap on whatever it is you're saying, then get mad at you for trying to help them.
That's something I practice too, and it's
Yeah.
legit, man. Like people listen to you a lot more diligently when you don't speak unless they ask you a question.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
if you're just quiet and then they ask you a question, like they're gonna listen to what you say. But if you're talking the whole time and they never get to say anything, then they don't give a shit what
And
you
I
say.
guess it makes sense with the whole you're starting with judge not, that you may not be judged, and then leading into don't give unwelcome advice. I think it's kind of the same train of thought. So I think that's the correct interpretation, but I'm not sure. I don't know of any others. Do you guys know of any other interpretations for that scripture?
No.
Okay.
The only thing I would bring up is Solomon talked about it. Don't argue with a fool,
Right,
or something like that, because they won't
right.
listen to you.
Well, there's some people that just that's one of the things I have been learning a lot when it comes to the research project I've been working on. There's all this talk about empiricism, like with evolution and everything. It's like, we're just the facts, we're just letting the science guide us or whatever. And when you look into the history of it, that's never been true. Like Darwin did not come to believe. I don't think Darwin ever came to believe in evolution because he was just compelled by the evidence. If you look at like his Finch beak analogy, it's verbatim what his granddad wrote in his science book. So it's not like Darwin just saw the evidence and created a theory. Like, he went to those islands knowing what he was already looking for, I think. And I think he was also trying to like rebuild or restore his dad's or his granddad's reputation. Now, when he later got called out, like he denied it. He said he didn't get his ideas from his granddad, but I think that's not true. Bottom line is there was like an emotional tinge to how he saw the evidence. And so people see what they want to see, and arguments and evidence, they can play a part in terms of like getting rid of people's pretenses, but they're never what actually convince people. So that's probably why you shouldn't argue with a fool, because they're not interested in logic. There's usually like an emotional reason why people do what they do. So.
Yeah, 100%.
That's kind of everybody these days is all emotional.
We're all idiots.
Reaction.
So yeah.
So what I was confused about, it's not this verse, it's the verse that says where he's talking to the lady, I think she's at the well, and she's talking about don't give your don't give the children the crumbs that the dogs eat, and the lady's like, even the
You're talking about
dogs
the
eat the
Gentile
crumbs.
woman. You're talking about the miracle with the Gentile woman. That's
Yeah.
later on. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's
So does this verse, can you
no,
line that up
because
with
what
that?
Christ is talking about is this is initially a Jewish covenant, and it's not the time to help the Gentiles. And she's like, okay, maybe not, but the Gentiles can still get the crumbs of the promise or whatever. And so Jesus being impressed by her faith. Of course, he was also like testing her. Like Jesus would do that. He would kind of poke people to see how serious they are. And so it's kind of one of those deals. But I don't think that's in relation to this. I think that's more in relation to like the relationship of the covenant between the Jews and the Gentiles. I think that's more what it's related to. So it's kind of a different deal.
Okay.
I think. Somebody might know better.
Testing of the Spirit.
But anyway. Where are we at? All right.
Verse 7. Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened.
Mm-hmm.
Or what man is there of you whom, if his son ask bread, will he give him a stone? Or if he ask a fish, will he give him a serpent? I would hope not. Therefore all things, if ye then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your Father which is in heaven give good things to them that ask him? Therefore all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them. For this is the law and the prophets.
Okay, couple points on
Enter
this.
ye.
Number one, I think we are going to have to like get into a more in-depth conversation about the ask and ye shall, knock and it shall be opened unto you, and you shall be given what you, ask and ask and it shall be given you. Because I guess people in the prosperity movement are taking that out of context. People are arguing about this passage a lot, so I think we're going to have to do an in-depth, since this is related to the whole charismatic movement thing. I think we are going to have to do an in-depth about what the correct interpretation of that is, because I haven't heard the arguments very cleanly on either way.
I think it's kind of how you were talking about with Darwin. Like he went on the islands looking for exactly what he knew what he was looking for, like you said. So like when people read the Gospels, if they're looking for an excuse to do sin and they find something that resembles that in the Gospel, they're going to read it that way. And so when you say, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened, it's like, well, I want a Lamborghini, right? And I'm going to knock at that door until it opens. But what happens there is like, you're going to get your Lamborghini, but you're going to make a bunch of demonic pacts along the way. And like, because that's your goal. Like, you're going to get what you want, but that's not what you need. So leave it up to God for what you need. Like, stop wanting
I'm going to
things.
push back on that because the whole point is, if you go several verses down, his whole thing is like, if you're talking about, if you who are evil know how to give good gifts, then how much more so will God give you good gifts? That's kind of the context of it. So it does seem to be justifying asking for something. But I mean, obviously we don't always get what we want. Okay. So I think that's kind of the contention with the scripture is, okay, how this Bible verse seems to be clearly saying if we ask, it'll be given to us. But I think the next verse, I mean, the way I would read it would be like the next verse is clarifying that God is going to give you whatever is ultimately for your good. God's going to give you the best gift, and that might not be a Lamborghini, but you should still ask because, you're to ask is to trust God to give you the right thing, give you what you need, give you what's best for you. I'm probably botching that, but
yeah.
So
sure. But I mean, so my son's birthday is,
Mhm.
we had his party today, but he really wanted a pair of brass knuckles for his birthday, and he's 10. And I was like, no, you're not getting a pair of brass knuckles, right?
It's a very boy thing to ask for.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like a pretty common sense answer. I don't have to explain it to you why I said no. But as a father, I know that that's
Right.
not good for my son, and I'm not
Yeah.
going to give him that. But what Jesus is saying is, you are the controller of your realm. You build your reality. When you want something, God will give it to you, but it might be bad for you.
I mean, I think there's times where that
So
happens.
want for nothing. That's the like. And I think it says want for nothing
Well,
somewhere.
yeah, but
in
that would be
here,
a completely different
right?
context. I don't know if they're. I guess it does.
It doesn't
Context
matter.
does matter. I think this might be talking about two different things.
Jesus is saying the same
No,
thing
he's
in
not.
every parable.
There's more than one lesson in the world, Cody.
Yes, he is.
Hang on a second. Amy says you ask, but you have to seek and do some work also. I think. So that's her. Yeah, you have to work for it.
Yeah, but like I guess it's up to you to know whether or not like if you do a demonic ritual to try to get what you want, like that's probably not good, and
Or
you're gonna incur some debt along the way.
Or if you jump on a Ouija board and try and set up a way, hey, I want this, and then you invite a
Right.
whole bunch of stuff in.
That would be
you get what you want.
That would be
but-
forcing your reality. You're knocking at that door until you get what you want.
Yeah. And it's just like if you ask God for something, he'll be like, okay, you can have it, but you have to do A, B, and C to get there.
Possibly. Let me read it again.
Maybe,
I'm going to read it again. I want to try to break it
test
down
your
and go a little
spirit.
slower with it. So let's see. Let me try. Let's move up in here. Okay, starting at 7, ask and it shall be given to you. So first of all, we need to point out between 6 and 7, it is a completely new thought. So we're starting at the beginning of another section or clause.
Yeah.
So ask and it shall be given you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. For every one that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened. Okay, so if you ask, you receive. If you seeketh, find it, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened. Okay, so first thing I would point out is, since we're talking about the beginning of a thought, this is an analogy. This isn't necessarily saying what God will do for people. This is typically what happens in
it's
life.
saying
If
what
you
will
ask
happen.
a question or ask for something, you will receive something. And if you seek something,
Yes.
you typically find something. And if you knock, the door is open. Okay, so yeah, so that's just a general.
He's talking about the way.
I know,
that
it's
the
just I'm
world
dumb,
works.
so I'm going really slow. So it's talking about what people do. So this isn't God, and I think a lot of the times this scripture, it's like God is the one doing the giving you or helping you find or knocking. I think it's more just like a general principle.
Yeah.
And so then we move on to 9. Or what man is there for you? Whom is his son? Whom if his son asks bread, will he give him a stone? So that seems to build on top of 8. So we're talking about general life principle again. And then 11, if ye then, being evil, so you, even though you're a lowly evil human, know how to give good gifts unto your children. That would be your brass knuckles thing. A brass knuckles would not be a good gift. How much more shall your Father, which is in heaven, give good things to them that ask him? Okay, so I think the interpretation is right then. So God is going to give you what is good for you, not necessarily what you want. So you should still ask.
Yeah.
I think that's right. Is there something that would make that reading wrong?
I mean, no. I mean, I feel like you should kind of like at least be able to learn the discernment of what a good gift is, though. I mean, like if it puts you in debt, it's not a good gift. Or like if it,
he's not going to give you a Lamborghini because you can't afford the insurance on it.
Right.
Well, it's also going to be highly individual. So, for example, I might give, say, when my daughter turns 15, I might give her brass knuckles because she's a 15-year-old girl. Whereas I might not give my 15-year-old son brass knuckles because I know he's going to cave in his little brother's teeth. So, a good gift is also going to be highly individual. That's my point. So, you got to trust God to give you what you need specifically, let's say, even though you don't know.
100%.
That might be a terrible analogy.
I don't know.
But
We're silly. We're really silly people, and we have like all these things that drive us that aren't really us. That these wants and urges and stuff. Like that's not you that wants that. Like when you drink a bunch of beer, right? It's not you that wants another beer. It's the beer that wants another beer.
Oh, I don't know if I agree
right?
with that. I think it's you.
So,
I think you're a degenerate and you just want beer because you're awful.
Oh, I don't drink anymore.
Okay. Well, okay,
Then we
Mr.
can go even-
I don't have a pole in my eye, You can tell us tell us lowly plebs how it's supposed to be.
Sorry, I got a splitter in my eye here. Yeah,
I'm sorry, I
don't know
threw you off.
where I
It's
was
my
going.
fault.
It's all good. It was
We-
probably God.
We could go even deeper with it. God sees what's going to happen with each thing you ask for. So, like, in context, if you are underage and you ask your parent, "Hey, can I get a tattoo?" Your parent's gonna be like, "Well, no."
You can't because that's not the way the world works. That's great. I like that.
I missed that. I was
So-
reading.
Yeah,
It's
I like
like
that a lot.
your parent sees ahead of time, okay, that's not a good idea.
Nor
And
will it work.
so-
Like when they walk in the tattoo shop, they're underage. They won't let them get a tattoo.
No, they,
Right.
some will if the
Well,
parents signed
okay.
off on it.
That kills the analogy, though.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to get at is it's ultimately up to the father.
Yep.
Amy says
So if he doesn't sign
no
off on it-
comment. I'm not sure what she's referencing, but I'm sure it was in regard to something stupid one of us said. So
Oh,
It
guaranteed. Everything we say is
It's all right.
stupid.
it might be the baked potato.
we'll blame the baked potato. So okay.
What are we at?
Okay.
I'll take it.
Verse 13 is where I left off.
Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way, which leadeth unto life, and few there be there that find it. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves.
Okay, I want to stop and ask
Ye
a
shall
question
know them.
here. Sorry.
Okay. We're going to stop and ask a question here.
So the straight gate and the narrow gate, that's a new story. Is the false prophet
Aye.
statement connected to the gate analogy? I suspect that it is, but I'm not sure.
I mean, are there historically wolves or sheep at gates?
I don't know if that is connected. I'm just trying to. Could the false
I mean, that's
prophets
the
be
only thing that
leading
would-
people away from the gate? That's as I'm wondering. Is that what he's getting at?
Yeah, I mean, that's
Okay.
certainly there.
Because I don't know what the straight and narrow gate is yet in the analogy. Like, obviously, if you've been taught a certain interpretation your whole life, you're going to assume it's a certain way. But just looking at it, I'm like, okay, I haven't seen the text define it necessarily, except the straight gate is life, and few people find life. I'm going, okay, oh, well, why is that? And then it seems like the next thought is the false prophets.
Let's keep reading it and see if it builds on that picture. We're walking through the gate. We're looking out for the sheeps because they've got wolves in them. You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes or of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. See, to me, that's just like warning people about like, don't listen to what people say, listen
See,
to
I
how they
disagree
act.
with that though.
Like Brandon Biggs, bro. I spotted that guy from immediately because the way he acted.
See, that's the
It
thing.
was hard.
I'm not convinced
wasn't
fruit
it?
means acts. I know everybody uses fruit to mean behavior, but I'm not sure that's what it's talking about. I think fruit's like message, whatever the false prophet is saying, because it wouldn't
Yeah.
make sense.
I mean, it could
Because
be
it's
that.
like, why
It's like a
would you be
man's
able to
word.
tell fruit if you've got the analogy above that says sheep's clothing, but inwardly they're ravening wolves? It's like, okay, well, by all appearances, they look like they're doing the right thing.
Yeah, but they're
but on the
producing.
inside, they're bad. So if you sit there and then 4 verses later say you'll know them by their fruit, and then say the fruit's the outward behavior, I feel like that undermines the sheep's clothing analogy.
No, it's the things that they bring into the world.
That would be
It's
like message,
the,
like consequences of the message, like consequences of their ideas, but not
Yeah.
necessarily their
like
behavior.
right now I'm trying to build a business. Like I don't know, man. And if I was corrupt, then it would be a terrible business. It wouldn't make any money, which it is a terrible business and it doesn't make any money. So I guess I'm corrupt.
That would be a terrible analogy. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know, like the YouTube pillow, like stay on the Brandon Biggs analogy. Like the YouTube pillow is a fruit to me. Like that's something that he got from his works and he's like showing it off. It's part of his ego. It's like oh, look at my identity. I'm a YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so it's like, that's the fruit. And like, I don't know. I just immediately saw that guy as a bullshit.
Yeah, so he like,
but he projects that he's literally Jesus Christ. So
I think one of the things that tipped me off. Sorry, Trevor, go ahead.
Amy said, fruit takes time. You can get tricked by appearances if you judge too quickly.
That could be.
Maybe.
That could be.
Yeah. Fruit does take time. I mean,
so,
man, what a lesson in patience. I love that. Thank you, Amy. It takes a whole year for a tree to grow apples, right? Why should I expect to make money immediately when I'm struggling with my business and worrying about all that crap and bills and whatever? Don't worry about it. God's got you.
Okay.
It's all in cycles.
I had a thought and I think I lost it. That's all right.
Sorry, I derailed you.
Thoughts are for nerds.
All right, let's see. So, oh yeah, I was gonna add on to your Brandon Biggs thing. The thing that keyed me to him was like his willingness to use a vision to like start defending a doctrinal position of his. Whenever he'd already gotten into trouble for interpreting visions, when he didn't actually have like the precise meaning of whatever it was he was seeing. So like the whole, like with the Trump bullet thing, his excuse for getting that wrong was, I saw Trump's ear bleeding and I inferred that his eardrum had busted and I shouldn't have made the inference. And then he turns around after being publicly called out for that and then goes, oh, the interpretation of this vision is definitely that my doctrinal position on X is correct. And I was like, that seems a little lacking in character, I guess,
Prophesy.
Anyway,
He's
so
terrible.
I bring that up because I'm wondering if that's connected to the messaging aspect of good fruit versus bad fruit. I don't know. Like he's trying to use miracles or whatever to defend a message. I don't know. I'm playing with the idea.
Oh, yeah.
Trevor, were you going to say something or did I just pretend like I heard you?
Oh, no. I was making fun of some prophets will have people behind them and they'll yell out prophesy on the mic when
Prophesy.
It's really funny.
Okay.
I'd have to show it to you, but Not right now.
Prophesy.
Okay, let's see. Let's stop
Mhm.
at 20 because I know
Okay.
21 is going to lead into a huge debate probably next week. So let's just get down to
Okay.
20 and then we'll kick it up at 21 after that cuz I know there's going to be there's probably going to be a lot to talk about with 20 starting at 21. So, where were we at?
All right. So I'm gonna start at 17
Okay.
and just go through. Oh, it's 16?
16 is the one we just read.
Oh, okay. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit, like me. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore, by their fruits ye
Okay,
shall
I
know
just want
them.
to say that juxtaposition kind of also suggests to me this can't be works because people do both good things and bad things at the same time. Like people do good and bad things concurrently.
I don't think it's works,
Well, I know, but
man. It's
honestly,
like
the traditional
it's
interpretation
fruit.
of the fruit
It's
is works, like deeds. That's like the traditional
yeah,
church thing, and I'm
yeah.
calling that out. I'm like, no, it can't be that because I've never known somebody
Yeah.
who just does bad things all the time. You know, it's like
Right.
people are a good dad, and then
Well,
like
G.G. Allen.
who's G.G.
G.G.
Allen?
Allen.
I don't know who that is.
I would say look him up, but he's disgusting.
Well, you know the old adage, like, the mob guy is such a wonderful father, but then he turns around and kills a dude. So it's like, it can't be
Yeah.
works because everybody does good and bad things at the same time. So the fruit's got to be something else. It's got to be something message related or something like that.
Like the preacher pastor who, does this whole thing, saves people, does prison ministry and goes to people's houses, but at the same time also steals out of the money from the church.
That's life, though. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody does good things and bad things concurrently. That's like just the human condition. And some things are worse than others, sure. But you can't sit there and say that, it's impossible. You can't sit there and say those verses mean fruits when the verse is clearly saying it's impossible for a bad tree to bear good fruit. It can't be works in that case because, yeah, humans do both. So the humans cannot be the good tree and the bad tree in the analogy. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you.
The fruit can't be works if the humans are the tree in the analogies, I guess. I don't know. The whole humans and works thing doesn't work.
It's something more akin. I think it's something more akin to what other people think about the person. Like what they truly think about the person. Like it's because like there's some people in your life where you're like, that's a solid dude because of this situation that happened between me and him. I know that's a solid dude, right? And then, he has those situations with other people and so forth, so on and so forth. I think that's the fruit. It's like when somebody can say this is a good dude because of this thing that he did. It's like when it's trust. It's like, is it trust? Fruit is trust.
I don't know, because I mean, how can you have good trust and bad trust? Good fruit and evil fruit.
That would be not trust.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it's got to be. It's got to be connected to false prophets. False prophets presumably would mean some kind of message, lies.
Lying.
Yeah.
Trust. Lies.
Beware false prophets which come in sheep's clothing. So false prophets, sheep's clothing is an outwardly thing. I'm assuming that's got to be works. They look good. They look like they're doing the right thing. They dress good. They don't cuss. They don't, whatever. But inwardly, they're ravening wolves. They lust. They do this. They do this. They got crappy thought life. You shall know them by their fruit. So this is how you tell a false prophet. Do men gather
What if
grapes
it's
of thorns or figs of thistles? I am very, very lost on that.
I think he explains it rather well there. So if I'm producing thorns, you're not going to get any grapes from me.
Okay, so
you
what
would
if it's
look
like
elsewhere.
learning things from people? Because like people just talk crap all the time. You
Yeah.
know, and sometimes you pick up on something they say. They're like, "Oh yeah, that's legitimate information. I'm glad I heard that from you." But most of the time, people are just like telling
Gossiping.
you what made them feel a certain way, or something like that.
Sorry, I'm just thinking. I'm trying to. Okay, so grapes. No, men do not gather grapes of thorns.
Knowledge.
Or
It's
figs
knowledge.
of thistles. So people, I'm just shooting in the dark. Would it mean something like people don't gravitate towards things that are going to hurt them? And that can't be right.
Mm-mm. It's knowledge, dude. Think about like when you have a conversation with someone, think about each sentence as a branch, right? And each sentence it's either thorny or like it has like an apple on it, right? And so like some people, like high caliber people that are really intelligent and run businesses and stuff, when you talk to them, they're just like shooting off all these branches with apples on them, and you're like, ooh, piece of candy, right? And then like some ridiculous person that's super annoying is just like every sentence is a thorn, and it's like, okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah,
It's like knowledge. It's drops of
let me
knowledge.
see if I can find something on the Google, because that's gonna bug me. This is, what is this, 7:16? All right, hang on. All right. Meaning of
Jesus was the vine and we are the branches.
Meaning of Matthew 7:16.
I think that goes along good with it.
Let me
Indeed.
let me look here, but I'm a little worried they're going to go, it's works. I'm like, it can't be works. That doesn't make sense with the analogy. But okay, let's see here.
Works don't work, man.
Yeah, they're gonna say
there's a huge mosquito.
Yeah, they're saying
next to
that
me.
will naturally produce behavior that reflects what is genuinely in the heart. See, I don't think that's what that works. That can't be the case, because how does that connect with the sheep? If somebody's doing something that obviously flags them like as bad or a false prophet, then how could the fruit be a work? It just doesn't. But that's what God questions is emphasizing, that it's saying the fruit analogy. In nature, a grapevine cannot produce thorns, and like this is what the AI is saying, but they're pulling this from Got Questions. So the fruit analogy, in nature, a grapevine cannot produce thorns, and a thorn bush cannot produce grapes. Similarly, a person's life will naturally produce behavior that reflects what is genuinely in the heart. I don't see how that's the case, because
it's not in the heart though. It's like, think about like, okay, so you got negative thoughts and not negative thoughts, right? And if you consistently bring those negative thoughts into fruition, like you make them, like sometimes you have intrusive thoughts that say, go kick that puppy, right? And you just go around kicking puppies all day. Everyone will hate you because you're terrible. So you have to not listen to those thoughts. It's like bringing thoughts into
yeah, but
reality,
a false prophet's going to know
right?
that. They're going to know that they can't kick puppies and get their message across. So they're going to behave good in order to throw people off. Like, think about BTK. BTK was a deacon in the church.
Behaviors come out.
You know? Like, BTK, the Boston Strangler guy, like, he was a deacon in the church, and he was like a leader in the community and everything like that. Like, bad guys try really hard to behave good to hide what's really in them, to hide that one thing that's really wrong with them. So how can it be like, how could fruit be works if people expressly try to hide their behaviors to deceive everybody? And that would go, the same would apply, I would assume, to a false prophet. It just doesn't make sense. And it ignores, like, that interpretation just ignores people. It's like people try really hard to fix the external in terms of their behaviors so they don't get caught as far as like their inner life goes. Everybody, to an extent, leads a double life, and they modify their behavior to present themselves as more righteous than they actually are. Like, that's just like the human condition.
Yes.
So how could the fruit be works? Because it seems to be basically, if that were the case, it seems to be saying, oh, well, you can tell that whether a prophet is true or false based on whether or not they're doing good or bad things. It's like, well, that can't be, because the bad guys change their behavior to deceive you, which is what I think the sheep's clothing thing is addressing. It's just, do you understand? I know I'm probably talking in circles, but I'm reading this AI and it's annoying me because I'm like, that like ignores just human experience in general. That can't be right.
Yeah.
I just, I'm not 100% sure what the fruit is then, if it's not works. I'm thinking it might be message, but I'm not sure.
I think message is a good word, but it's like, what truth comes out of you, bro? What true things come out of you?
Hang on a minute. Amy says, I think vine versus thorn is intention. I mean, that could be. What do you guys think? I think vine versus thorn is intention.
Intention,
like your motives,
to what?
Like why you do what you do.
Oh. Intention is, I don't know. It's got my brain going all over the place.
I'm like confusing myself.
Just think about
thinking through it.
It's like,
so.
Yeah, these are big questions. It's like God's plan versus your plan. Like, this is such a big question. I don't know what you're asking anymore. I forgot.
Amy clarified it by saying good intent versus bad intent. Like, what's somebody's intentions?
Yeah. I feel like intent can be manipulated, though. Like, the only thing that can't be manipulated is God's plan, when you just let things happen. So if you have intent, it could be manipulated to evil.
I don't know. I kind of think she's on
By
to
yourself.
something. I'm trying to stress test it in my head. Because I do think motives matter when it comes to what is right or wrong. And I think why somebody maybe let me I'm gonna have to think about that.
Yeah, I think it's like sin, man. Like, if your intent is just for you, then it's probably evil.
So okay, let's see here. We got 17. This is declarative. So
yeah, Christ came to serve.
This is declarative. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit. So a good tree will bring forth good fruit, and a bad tree will bring forth bad fruit. Or a corrupt tree will bring forth evil fruit. So this isn't, so it's, to me, this makes me lean more towards message, because if the tree is good, let's say it's message. Let's say it's message. Let's say that this is connected to the gate thing at the beginning. So wide is, okay, so enter ye at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there will go through it. But because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be there that find it. And then we get into false prophets. So if the message of the prophet, let's say that's a good tree, then that tree, so let's instead of saying the message is fruit, let's say message is tree. A good tree bringeth forth good. So if the message is right, it's going to maybe produce good fruit in your life if the message is right. And a corrupt message is going to produce evil fruit in your life. So maybe the issue is that we're trying to ascertain whether or not the prophet is bad or good. But maybe if we say tree is message, then we can tell whether a message is true or false based on what it does for us, because we know our own motives, we know our own intent. And so maybe we can,
If the tree is,
if a good, let's say, we'll replace the word tree with message. So every good message bringeth forth good fruit, and every corrupt message bringeth forth evil fruit. Does that make sense?
but the comparison is a tree to a man, not a message.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What if we're wrong? What if tree isn't man? What if tree isn't
What
man?
if-
What if
what if
tree is
men-
message? And
What if you're onto something? What if men each have a message that they need to get out? We're not born knowing what that is. What if each man is his word? Just like God
what if
is
it's
his
saying you can't tell a false prophet from a real prophet because, they wear sheep's clothing. You can't tell, but inwardly they're ravening wolves. But you shall know them by their fruits. So their fruits wouldn't be their works. It would be let's just say, the fruit of the message they say. So, if...
Well, Brandon Biggs had good fruit with his Trump message.
You think so?
I mean, unless you just call him a liar.
I think he was a liar. Yeah, well, I
did.
thought that's why I was confused. I thought you did call him a liar. So
No, because you thought his fruit was good at the beginning.
I don't know if I thought his fruit was good. I was baffled by how he did it because I didn't buy that he just got lucky with the hand motion.
You thought it was good fruit.
Not necessarily. I mean, the vision could have came from a demon. I was just maintaining the vision was supernatural. But I didn't know what to make of the guy.
Okay. Well,
Anyway,
I don't know.
let me stay focused here because I feel like I'm really close to maybe having a possible interpretation that makes sense, and I don't want to lose my train of thought. So, you shall know them by their fruits. But rather than saying their fruits are works, we're going to say their fruits are the results of your behavior because of their message. So it's like the fruits from your life that are produced by their message. So if you're getting thorns,
That's deep.
like if the message is producing thorns in your life rather than grapes, you wouldn't keep going to the false prophet. Same thing with the figs and the thistles. So that's like emphasizing the same idea. So every good tree, the good tree would be planted by the false prophet, is going to produce a good fruit in your life. And every corrupt tree, let's say corrupt message by the false prophet, is going to produce evil fruit in your life. And in this case, fruit might be behavior. It might also be consequences from the behavior. It might be whether or not the idea is working. And so a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. A good message cannot bring forth bad fruit in your life, bad consequences or bad behavior, let's say. And a corrupt message cannot bring forth positive outcomes in your life or positive behavior in you. And so every tree that bringeth forth good fruit every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewed down. So you have to cut out the bad messages in your life and cast those messages in the fire, destroy the concept in you, prune it out. That's a pruning analogy, I believe. And then, wherefore, by their fruits ye shall know them. So by the results of their message, you shall know the false prophet. That could be complete crap, but I think that's at least logically coherent in terms of an interpretation, because I don't think fruits being like their behaviors or your behaviors works. It's got to be, it's almost like a tertiary component to the analogy. All right, that's me coming up with an idea on top of my head. What do you guys think?
I like it because it's like you could take people's fruit, plant that seed in your life, see if it grows a good tree
Yeah.
or a bad tree, right?
So maybe.
You cut that bitch down,
Maybe.
throw it in
I
the fire.
mean, sometimes we would get arguably bad results from a good message, possibly. So
Yeah.
it might not. It might not just be consequences. It might be like inner behavior or inner peace.
How would you get bad results from a
Say
good
you accept
message?
Christ as your savior and then you die as a martyr. That would be arguably a hypothetical bad result. Hypothetically, that could be a bad result of a good message. But unless you want to change,
better to enter the kingdom of heaven maimed than
right.
not
If
enter
you
the kingdom of
extrapolate
heaven
it
at all.
out to like the grand, like in the grand scheme of eternity, it's still a good thing. So you could go that route with it.
Which is,
I'm thinking out loud. I need feedback, guys. I'm putting myself out there.
Yeah, I'm lost.
What?
Is that working? Is that feedback working?
No, Trevor just said he's lost, so the feedback has not worked, apparently. He's like, what? Okay, so let me see if I can simplify it. Okay, Trevor, listen very closely, because I need to know whether my idea is stupid. Okay? Well,
It's
thank
not
you,
stupid.
but listen to the idea first. So, we're trying to figure out how to identify a false prophet, right? Okay.
Right, I'm there on
you
that.
can't say the fruit is works because the sheep's clothing analogy is telling you that you cannot tell a false prophet by their outward appearance.
So you can't tell you can't tell by their works.
Yeah, like,
outward
okay, so the
appearance.
traditional interpretation of this scripture would be basically sheep's clothing is looking nice. You know what I mean? Like, oh, the false prophets, they dress really
Right.
nice. You know, they're super duper great. That's
Which
not
is
always
not
true.
always true.
Sometimes the prophets, dress up like vagabonds as a marketing shtick. So I mean, that it doesn't work. But that would be like the traditional interpretation. Oh, they just dress really clean and they look really good. That's the sheep's clothing. I'm saying no. The sheep's clothing is broader than that. The sheep's clothing is saying they look good by all physical appearances, or even spiritual, like behavior
That's
or whatever.
where I got lost.
So I'm saying
okay,
the fruit as works thing cannot be correct because the sheep's clothing thing eliminates that as a possibility. That's my contention.
That's where I got confused. I was like, what?
Okay. So, but they look good, which means they behave good. They do everything right from the outward perspective, but on the inside, they got bad intentions. Right? So, I'm sorry.
So look at their heart.
Well,
always look at the heart.
We're going to get there. So this is how you can tell. Ye shall know them by their fruits. So now we've got to define what fruits is. I'm arguing fruits cannot be works because sheep's clothing precludes that. Like it keeps that from being a scenario, right?
Right.
Okay, so fruits can't be works here. So, and then you've got, do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? So it's some kind of results-oriented thing, though, because you've got this. So what exactly are we talking about? So even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit. So now we've got this third component that we haven't identified either. We got to figure out what the tree is. Is the tree the false prophet? Or is the tree something that the prophet has planted?
Can the tree just be, why does it have to be a prophet, not a person?
Well, I'm assuming because I would say it has to be the prophet because we're in the context of this story. Remember, we're talking about this whole section 13 through 20. So this is an entire thought.
Right here he's talking about false prophets.
So it has to be, so this has to be in the context of false prophets because that's the qualifier at the beginning of 15. So it's not people in general, it's false prophets. So we are now we've got this other analogy. We've got false prophet, we've got fruit, and now we've got good tree, which is going to produce good fruit. And then bad tree going to produce bad fruit. My argument
So
is
it,
the good
honestly,
tree,
oh, sorry.
the term good tree must mean message or something that the false prophet has planted in you. And that message is going to produce a good or bad fruit, something results oriented in your life. So, say the message causes you to be a better person, let's say. That would be a good fruit. Or say the message causes you to worry less, or something like that, something that's in line with other
Yeah.
pieces of the Bible. So the message is going to line up with good outcomes in your life, and a bad message is going to line up with bad outcomes in your life. That's what I'm positing. False fruit cannot mean works because of the sheep's clothing analogy, and tree must mean
Right.
something like message, and the message is going to produce either a good outcome or a bad outcome, and that's how you identify a false prophet, by the outcomes of their message.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, because I have listened to people where I do feel better after listening to them, and then I've also listened to people that they give the kind of the same message, but then I feel
Yeah.
like crap. Because
Well, they're saying the right things, but there's a lot of
yeah.
shoulds but no hows, that kind of thing.
Well, it made me feel shameful instead of
Or motivated to
uplifting
fix
and
it,
whatnot.
whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm speculating, and I'm mainly throwing this at you guys to see if you can counter it or just stress testing the idea. Because all I feel confident in saying is that fruit cannot mean works, given the sheep's clothing analogy. That's like the only thing I'm really confident in. The rest of this is me speculating, trying to figure out what this means.
I feel like, so think about it from the perspective of you don't see hardly anyone at all, right? You're like a nomad in the desert. It's just you and you're walking around. So like each person you come into contact with builds your reality. So when you have a conversation with that person, it's like they say some things, you say some things, and you plant seeds in each other, right?
Mhm.
Like ideas, right? And so sometimes that idea grows into something that wrecks your life. You just met that guy one day, but he planted a seed that just totally sets you
Mhm.
off the tracks, right? And then sometimes you come across great people and they sow a good word in you, and then it does good in your life. I don't know. That's Break it down into like really simple terms. Like make it simple.
I thought I did. Am I not?
You just got done talking for
All right,
15 minutes
let me
explaining
try
it.
to be
So
really reductive then. Okay. You've got false prophets. How do we know what a false prophet is? Sheep's clothing seems to suggest he looks good by all accounts from the outside. Okay. Presumably he would be saying and doing the right thing if he looks good. We wouldn't be able to tell from the outward appearance. Is that simple? That's premise A. Is that simple?
yeah,
Huh?
is there something wrong? Is there something wrong?
I don't think so. I'm
I'm not
trying to make
arguing with
sure
you.
that I'm not being like convoluted. I'm trying to make sure I'm being clear. I'm checking to see if I'm making sense, because I make sense in my own head, but I tend to ramble and confuse people. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm making sense. Okay.
Okay.
So premise A
Yeah.
makes sense. False prophet looks good on the outside. Amy gives the thumbs up. Okay, great. All right. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
I'm with you.
So, because premise A, the false prophet looks good on the outside, we can't tell. Since that's premise A, premise B would be, therefore, fruits cannot mean works, or at least the works of the false prophet, because we cannot tell. Because works are how, like, typically in other places in the Bible, like James, you measure somebody's faith by their works, right? Like, works are how you tell the degree to which somebody believes something. So if we can't tell because the guy looks good on the outside, then that's premise A. Then premise B would be the fruits cannot be works because premise A precludes that. The sheep's clothing analogy makes that impossible. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So when it says, ye shall know them by their fruits, this would be premise C. Fruits has to be talking about, it can't, premise B is it can't be works. Premise C is fruits has to be talking about something else. Right? Okay. Now,
Yeah.
this is premise 4. And this is where my weak spot is. This is what I'm trying to stress test because I don't have a connection. I'm speculating here. Good tree. I am arguing that tree is the message planted by the false prophet. It's not the false prophet. I'm sorry,
It
go
doesn't
on.
have to be the prophet and or false prophet. It
Yeah,
doesn't have
right.
to be either or.
Right. I'm saying that the tree is something akin to message. It's not the prophet directly. Okay. So
Yes,
that's
I
premise
agree with
4.
you.
That's where I think my weakness is because I don't have anything within the phrases of the passage to say that. I'm making an actual inference.
Yeah, you do.
Well,
No, because you take the fruit of that person's message, and then you plant it within you. You're not the tree, but the tree that grows is from that fruit that you got from their tree.
I think you're moving on to premise 5.
I was just
I
steel manning
appreciate it.
premise
You're
4.
helping me. I do appreciate it. I guess I'm arguing with myself at this point. But I'm just trying to anticipate because there's going to be people that are like, no, fruits has to mean works. It has to mean works. And you'll understand why when we get to Matthew 21 next week. But if we go down that rabbit trail, we'll never get done. So we'll save that for next week. But this precursor section, a lot of people who take a certain interpretation of Matthew 7:21 are going to insist that fruits is works. I'm saying that can't be the case. I'm saying that good fruit would be a good outcome that is the result of a message. So this could be good consequences. This could be good behavior. Like good behavior would be encompassed in that, but not exclusive. So it'd be like, yeah, good outcomes.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be anything. We don't know what good is. Only the Father.
Well, positive
we don't
outcomes.
even know what good is.
You know, you love more. You desire justice more.
Yeah. But I mean, I would say on that
Mhm.
argument right there, I would appeal to, I know not what good is.
Yes, but we have an approximate idea. Like, obviously, blowing up a bunch of baby seals is probably not a good idea.
Like, whenever you try to define things, man, I
know,
it's like,
but
do
if
we
it's
really
too...
know? It's like,
But
is the
let's stay
science
focused,
settled?
and let's just say for the present, for the conversation's sake, let's say good and bad is on a gradient. And that giving
like
your child a
somebody had
birthday
this-
present is closer to the good than blowing up baby seals. Can we say that there's a spectrum and giving your child a present is better than blowing up baby seals? Can we agree on that?
What if the baby seals were tormenting a population of rare crabs that is very necessary
You
for the
don't
medical
have
industry?
to blow them up. You could just move them. if you're gonna be pedantic, I can be pedantic too.
Well, you're already being pedantic. That's why I'm being pedantic.
I think he's just
All right.
bloviating.
Anyway, so
He's
let me try to
bloviating for
explain why I'm
sure.
nervous about the argument really quick here. So I'm arguing that good fruit is good outcome. That could be behavior. That could be positive emotion. Yeah, it could
Whatever
be
that
a
means,
net
yeah.
benefit. And that net benefit is the result of a good tree, which I'm saying tree means message planted by the false prophet. My worry with that argument, even though it makes logical sense, is that I don't know if I have a strong enough reason to say good tree means message. It could mean, hypothetically, good tree could mean the prophet.
Just say something akin to message. The tree means something akin to message.
I know.
I just make that argument.
I know. I just want it to be defensible. I'm trying to steel man my own case here. Maybe we're just flying in circles, but I'm just trying to break it down really slow because apparently I was convoluted after a 15-minute speech. So I'm trying to break down everything I said into very small chunks so everybody knows what I'm talking about. So I think I'm right. I think tree probably means message, and I think it's better to say that good tree means good message rather than talking about the false prophet directly. But you could probably still make the same case I'm making, even if you assume even if you assumed good tree is the same as the prophet. So it might not even matter. I was just nervous about not having a justification for the word message within the text. But anyway, bottom line is, I'm going to argue for the present that fruits are not works. Good fruit is a good outcome based on a good tree, and the tree either means message or prophet. Is that simple enough? Does that make sense to everybody? Okay.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Any disagreements? Anybody wanting to go, no, fruits definitely mean works, and you just want to justify degeneracy, you heathen?
No.
If I was on that train, I would have already been on it, Gary.
I think it would have been a little easier if he would have just said, "Beware of Pharisees."
Yeah, I think he considered the Pharisees false prophets.
Pharisees.
I do think that there's justification in the other
Yeah.
gospels that he's connecting the two ideas. I do think that's right. And so this would be incredibly applicable if that were true, though, because and that would certainly eliminate the idea that fruits are works if that's true, because the Pharisees obeyed the law to the T. That was their great foible. So they obeyed their law, they just didn't understand the spirit of the law, so they were still like sinning in different ways.
Yeah, and then the reason I got confused earlier was because I was trying to tie it in with the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Like, what if Jesus is trying to bring up something about that?
I think you probably can make that inference, but it would probably take a while.
Yeah, we'd be
well,
here
I
all night.
apologize for being pedantic. I'm just trying to get into the habit of breaking stuff down. And the whole point of even doing
Well,
this
that's why
is
we're
like
here.
to stress test ideas.
That is the whole point of us doing
So,
this.
I only know that word because of Family
pedantic.
Guy.
I think that's where I learned that word.
They make
too.
fun of it. Oh, it's so pedantic.
Quite frankly, sir, I find your words to be shallow and pedantic. Yes.
So
okay.
What a pretentious thing to say.
Okay, we're ready to move on. So,
it's something Jordan Peterson would say. Oh, well, frankly, I find you very pedantic.
be nice to Jordan Peterson. He's sick, you monster.
He's very sick.
You should feel bad.
Is he back on the? Is he back on the?
I don't know, but you should feel terrible.
No,
because you're a terrible person.
You're
dead inside.
Based.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Any final thoughts on that? All right. We'll be picking up Matthew 7:21 next week. On to the final subject.
Well, that's that good verse.
We're gonna, if anybody believes you can lose your salvation, we gonna fight next week. That's what that means. So that's what that's getting at. So anyway, moving on, I guess, Trevor, you saw an interview with Kenneth Copland and you wanted to talk about it, and you had a bunch of stuff ready for it, or did you not find that documentation, or?
Yes, hey, you already got it pulled up. Okay. I was looking for it. I was going to send it to you.
I got it. I got it.
But you've already got it.
So do you know where you want to start?
The first 30 minutes are just first of all, that's Bryce.
Okay, let me pull him up really quick. There you go.
On the Bryce Crawford show, he did an interview with Kenneth Copland, which Kenneth Copland hadn't done an interview like this in like 40 years. So this is very weird for him to do this. because he hasn't done an interview like this with anybody. And
Because nobody wants to talk to him because he's demon possessed, bro.
Is that bad, Cody?
anyways,
Yes.
Is it bad to be demon possessed? I mean, I think everybody's a little bit possessed.
Can you give me a yes or no?
if not oppressed,
Yes.
Is it
where
bad?
where is it on the scale of bad and good?
I don't know. What am I,
So is
God?
Do you think it's closer to the bad end or do you think it's closer to the good end? You don't know.
No, bro. To what?
Is Kenneth Copeland being demon possessed good or bad?
I hope gets.
Okay, so
the
you're going to
demons
say
out
it's
of him.
tragic then.
Yeah, it's not good for
Okay,
anybody
so
to be
you're
demon
saying
possessed.
it's bad, but you're not saying it's immoral. You're saying it's bad as in tragic, Romeo and Juliet. This is a horrible thing that's happened to him.
I'm not getting emotional about it, bro. You are.
I'm smiling. I don't know what you're talking about. This is what Owen Benjamin
What are you
calls
talking about?
poking the bear. So,
Oh, the.
I think he's just
It's so
picking on you.
tragic. I don't care. Like I've had demons and I kicked them out. You know, he used to do the same thing.
it's all great. It's all great. Demon possession is great. It's great. You can just kick them out. No, life is great. Life is beautiful even when there's demons. Okay. I
Ask me if it's good or bad. If he's had, you're ridiculous, Gary.
Here's the answer I would have given. Here's the answer I would have given.
No dumb
Cody,
questions.
yes, being possessed is a bad thing. And this is the guy that spent 15 minutes arguing about 5 verses. So even I know to be concise about that one.
Oh, he does that on here.
Well, it's because you think you know everything and you know what good and bad
I don't know
is.
everything. I know half of things.
Well, you think you do, though.
I know half about everything. How's that? Okay.
Okay. I'll call you next time I need to work.
Yeah,
on my car.
you'll get halfway there to it being fixed. I'll get you really close, I promise. You'll almost have it right. Yeah, almost halfway.
He'll have you look it up on.
Yeah, see, I
Google.
can Google anything. So there you go. Yeah, so
That's true. You can. Do you think anybody's ever Googled how to Google something? I had that question today.
well,
We should do that right now.
okay, yeah.
No.
I guess we need to focus. We're diatribing. Sorry, I derailed. If we had an admonish button, I'd use it. Because it was bad.
Too bad there wasn't a dad
yeah.
joke in that.
All right, so Trevor, where do we start, my good sir?
33 minutes.
Yeah, skip to 38 minutes.
Okay, I'll get as close as I can.
This is where Bryce. So Bryce is more like us. He doesn't really agree with the prosperity gospel, and so he's asking questions to Kenneth Copeland. Okay, where do you get this? Where's your ministry focused on? And Kenneth Copeland there's a lot of editing and a lot of him talking over Bryce. And so
does he get very upset?
And him kind of talking about his prosperity gospel.
Does he get all emotional like Gary does when he?
That's not till later.
Are you angry, Cody? Did it hurt your feelings?
I have that written.
No, you're good. Okay.
No.
Just make sure you're good, buddy.
Yeah. Okay.
It'd be bad if I hurt your feelings.
That's my last.
So, you know.
That's my
I don't
last
have any
note.
feelings,
You're so
Gary.
full of it.
We've been over this.
Okay, Trevor, I'm sorry. I'm gonna start the video before I get us in trouble. Okay. All right.
we might get copyrighted.
I will try to and being copyrighted would be bad. I will try to turn this off and on. So
and things like that, and so I just kind of wanted to have some dialogue here. Where do you get this from in scripture? Where do you see this? Kind of share my thoughts. But before we kind of dive into the scripture and where you get your perspective, I mean, from your perspective, according to scripture, how do you define abundance and prosperity?
Well, Jesus came and said, The thief comes but for to steal, to kill, and destroy. I've come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Prosperity. When one mentions prosperity, most people think about money. Now, money is not the root of all evil. The Bible said the love of it is. And there are people that commit that who don't have any money.
That's right.
True prosperity starts with John 3:16.
Yeah,
That's where it starts.
absolutely.
And then you go from there, you go to the second chapter of the book of Acts. Because being able to pray in the Spirit is the gateway to the supernatural. And you're just not ready to prosper all that big financially yet. But I would say, just from my experience over the last, 57, 58 years, that the biggest part of Christians do not know that they've been redeemed from the curse of the law.
What does that look like?
Well,
Okay, I'm not sure I agree
Listen.
with the tongues thing, but so far the only thing I know I disagree with is that jacket. That is a hideous jacket.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So far,
He
Kenneth
wore that jacket. He wore that jacket on purpose.
Oh, did he?
So
It-
far, this guy sounds
Yeah, it sounds
based.
fine so far.
Yeah.
This is why you don't trust Inside Edition, because they make people look awful. Like, we're hypocrites because we use the Inside Edition picture for the thumbnail. But that was
I
not a
mean,
flattering photo.
The dude's
Huh?
got stuff going on. The dude's got some stuff going
Well,
on.
I
for
haven't
sure.
heard it. I mean, I
Yeah.
disagree with the tongue stuff, but I haven't heard anything that I'm just like, oh, that's just outlandish. Oh my gosh.
Well, we are
Okay, yeah.
just.
Well, so far,
starting.
this is
That's
kind
true.
of
Get
like,
into it.
okay, he believes in salvation so far as I can tell, and we have a distinction on tongues. That's all I've picked up with so far. Which I don't even know if I disagree with him on the tongues
Yeah,
thing.
and-
Like, I don't know about tongues. So, all right, well, we'll just
Yeah.
keep going.
I think praying in the spirit is channeling demons. It's like, I think we talked about it last week. The cursive, or not last week, but the last podcast. Cursive, like curses. It's because like cursive, you write cursive because you're not picking your hand up from the paper and your eyes are closed. You're channeling a demon. It's cursive.
Why would you close your eyes
right?
while you're
And
writing?
so like speaking, because you're channeling a demon. It's not you writing. You're writing a spell.
By writing cursive?
So-
We did not have
That's-
this
I think that's what-
conversation last time. No.
We didn't?
No,
I
I'm
don't
thrown
remember
for a
this
loop.
conversation.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think cursive is like is what they used to use to channel demons. So like they,
I disagree with you, sir.
do you have questions?
Well, there is a practice of people doing that. They'll just write on paper and ask whatever, like through a Ouija board or something, and the spirits that come through will write on a paper what they ask.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
yeah,
a
I mean,
very
that's
old
an
practice.
but I mean that doesn't mean like cursive is like inherently evil or comes from that.
No, I'm not saying it is. I'm saying that's just where it comes from. And I think that's kind of the same thing with speaking in tongues or like old Indian songs where you're like, you're just making noises so that demons can take over your vocal cords. And like the speaking in tongues thing
We'll
is
have
the
to
same
go
thing.
into the history of where tongues comes from, because I do believe that we can trace back like where the Pentecostals first got the idea of like speaking in tongues as we understand it today. Now, obviously, they would argue that they're recapturing what the truth was, and then it was lost, and then
Well-
picked up again. But we can still track where they got those ideas from initially. So we might have to do that then.
I mean, it's simple though. I mean, like God is the silent God. He is the still small voice, right? It's like go to the quiet place to hear God. Like it's all that. You don't chant and like that's how you channel demons.
I
And
don't
that's
know if
just-
I agree with you
I
about
think that's
that,
just
Cody.
it's another version of speaking
I
in
don't know
tongues,
if I
in my
agree with
opinion.
that. I can challenge that with the Bible story. Remember when the Holy Spirit indwelled Saul and made him run around naked, chanting or prophesying with the other prophets? And it confused the people of Israel, and they were like, is Saul among the prophets too? That was the Holy Spirit. That wasn't a demon. No,
Saul as in
King
Paul?
Saul.
Oh,
Yeah.
David's time. that
Uh,
So
can
I don't think chanting is like the only indicator there.
I mean, could God have used? I don't know the story. Did he use a bad thing for a good
What
purpose?
he did was he got the Holy Spirit indwelled Saul because he was part of the anointed and like caused him to dance around naked and prophesy to get caught up in that to get caught up in that so Samuel could escape because either Samuel or David could escape. Might have been both of them. I don't remember which one it was. But anyway, he was chasing after one of them and then he got hit with the Holy Spirit and did all that. And that provided the opportunity for them to continue fleeing. And then Saul was embarrassed, because he's like the big stately king. And then he's left naked, rolling around, prophesying. And it was God humiliating him, basically. So.
and that's
Yeah, but
what a lot
if
of
you try to
people
do it
believe.
on purpose, demons take control
Yeah,
of that.
I agree
'cause
with that. Like if you're
like
trying to force it and you're
God
appealing to
made
demons,
that
you
happen.
can get yourself into trouble.
Right. So if you go into a place and you're like, I'm going to speak in tongues, you're channeling demons.
I'm not sure that's a good jump.
Okay.
We'll have to look into it more.
But unless it hits you at 8 a.m. on a Tuesday, without you knowing it's coming, then it's bullshit.
I don't know if that's a good criterion. I don't know. What do you think, Trevor?
Okay.
Well, a lot of people think that it's the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's the Holy Spirit. Like that's the thing. Like this is just this is the debate.
Of course you want to think that.
I don't have a preference. I'm just saying this is the debate. Some people think it's wrong. Some people think it's right. There's a conversation. I'm in the I don't know camp because at one point in time I did speak in tongues. I don't anymore. I do wonder if it was real back then or not. I think it was real. But some people would say no, it wasn't. And I'm like, well, okay. I can tell you what happened and what it felt like and what the experience was and yeah, that's about it. So,
well, I would say it felt like anything. It was probably demonic.
I don't think so because 2 of the times was when we were trying to bless a house. As Trevor, one of those was your apartment in the Greens.
Yeah. We did go through and bless
I wound up
that
speaking
apartment.
in tongues during that thing. I wasn't planning
Probably
on it.
still
I didn't
has-
go in there planning it, but yeah.
Yeah, everybody was speaking in tongues at that point. I'm pretty sure that oil is still stuck all over the
Probably.
walls.
Yeah,
The
probably.
oil crosses.
Yeah, that was a
Oh,
interesting deal.
that was
So you guys
fun.
went in there and wrecked an apartment? Just threw
Huh?
oil everywhere?
There was holy oil. Like Trevor
No,
was
we
having
did-
issues with something in his apartment, and we tried to bless it. Did it work? I was under the impression it worked, at least for a little bit. But the way that it ended was you had to call it out directly.
Yeah, and it helped me see what was going on between the girl that I was with at the time,
Uh-huh.
my ex. You remember her, Cody?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it basically opened my eyes, and that's when I was like, I need to end this relationship.
See, you never told me that.
That's what it was.
I remember you told us all to eventually kind of shut up, and you had to talk to it directly and get it out because it was something between you and it, or like you had, I don't know, God was leading you to confront it.
It
or
was
something.
between. Yeah, it was her stuff, and I had to confront it, and that's when it was
like her stuff. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
like everything she was dealing with, and she brought that into my life.
Are you talking about a soul tie?
And-
Like you guys were connected in a sense?
Bad fruit, bro. Bad fruit.
It was very bad for sure.
Because you were like unequally yoked? Like,
Completely unequally, 100% unequally yoked.
so you had like
And
like a soul tie deal? Like why was the thing? Was it her
could say
demon that
that,
was
yeah.
latching on to you, or was it something you had that was feeding
Yeah.
off the turmoil? Like it's been north of a decade since this all happened, so I'm very fuzzy
Yeah.
as to particulars. I don't think I was fuzzy about it back then, but I've forgotten a lot.
Yeah, I was. It was a relationship that I just wanted to be in, and it was not going to turn out well. And I was blind to it until after we did that whole thing. And then it kind of was like, oh, I need to
Okay.
deal with this.
So why did you the way I remember it is it had gotten to the point where it had ripped the blankets off your bed and it wasn't letting you sleep
Yeah.
basically. So we felt we had to go in there and deal with it. So
Yeah.
like what happened, and I'm not trying to embarrass you, so just tell me to shut up if you don't want to answer the question, but what happened during that event that clued you in that this was like the result of you and her's relationship? Because I remember it was Kevin and me and a couple other people, and we were praying, and then at one point you had us all go quiet, and you spoke to it directly. I don't remember exactly what you said, but I think it was something to the effect of "get out," or you needed to leave. Yeah.
Yeah, I told it to get out, and I started crying, and y'all started speaking in tongues over me. And I actually hit the floor, and
Did
y'all
you
were just like
because you
laying
were like
hands on me
emotionally
and praying and
exhausted,
stuff.
or like why did you hit the floor?
I honestly
Okay.
don't remember. I just remember being on the floor and y'all just praying over me.
They took my legs.
And then after that, it was just like I understood. Okay, I need to end the
Okay.
relationship.
So when you ended the relationship, did it go away? Okay,
went
so
with
it was
her, yeah.
arguably her. Was it? Do you think it was
And I
her
could
thing,
tell you
or do you think it was
exactly-
something that you had that was
I-
feeding off of that relationship?
I know without a shadow of a doubt right now that
Okay.
it was hers, because at her house, after I ended the relationship, I was like, hey, before I leave, because I went to see her one more time, I was like, before I leave, I need you to get rid of the Ouija board that's in your closet. And it freaked her out because she had never showed me in that closet. Like, I knew there was a Ouija board in that closet.
Okay, so she was messing around with something, and that had attached to you. Okay, yeah.
It had tried to, yeah. It had been. And I wasn't gonna out her like that, but
That's
yeah,
crazy.
that's yeah. It the night that I went back over there and we had a little talk, it was rough.
I imagine so.
I cried a lot.
I'm sorry,
a
man.
fun
I didn't mean to. I
conversation,
didn't
boys.
bring the mood down. I
Anyways.
apologize. I just. In that, my only point initially was that I spoke tongues during that event, and I have a hard time imagining that it would have been a demon if I was speaking tongues to call out a demon. That was my only point. I didn't. Trevor, I apologize if I am.
He's casting out demons by the name
Yeah,
of
the
Satan.
Pharisee said that, mind you. So I apologize,
Cody's
Trevor,
a Pharisee.
if I embarrassed you. I didn't mean to embarrass you. It just kind of rabbit trailed. So
You're fine. It's all water.
yeah, okay. So Cody, I'm going to call you Caiaphas from now
Under the
on. So
Hey, my
hey,
name
there
is
you go,
Cephas.
Bo
That's
Caiaphas.
funny.
There we go.
Bo Caiaphas.
All right, I'm going to play Kenneth Copland again. So,
All right.
Wait. How far did we get?
Probably 20 seconds. You told me to. All right.
Go ahead and hit play.
Just take a look and see.
Let's do it.
Let's read this. Deuteronomy
Right, yeah, I wanted him
8:18.
to read this.
Thou shalt remember, okay? We got to remember this. The Lord thy God, for it is he that gives you the power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant which he swore unto your fathers as it is this day. This is covenant business. And this book is a book of blood covenants. The blood of animals, blood by circumcision, the sinless blood of Jesus. Let's go over here to Galatians
I don't know
chapter
if
3.
I agree with the idea that the blood of circumcision was necessarily part of the covenant thing. I know the blood of animals. I think he's referring to the Abrahamic covenant being signified by circumcision. I think that might be what he means.
Right.
I do agree that the Bible is a book of covenants, though. So
Yeah. And this is what he bases everything on, is this
Okay.
little segment
All right.
right here.
And then we'll go back and see what that curse looks like. 13th verse. Christ redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. For it is written. Now, let me just stop right here, Brian. The integrity of this written word is absolutely essential. Rightly dividing it is essential. Understanding what it means when one receives communion. When I finally realized that I'm a blood brother with Jesus Christ, I'd rather die than to do anything to shame him. Ever. I don't remember now why our airplane was in a shop or something. Anyway, I was reading E.W. Kenyon's book, The Blood Covenant.
Pause it.
yeah,
And this is back in the...
So I don't know if it's a big deal, but I noticed a lot of cuts in that.
yeah, I've been noticing a lot of cuts.
A
Yes.
lot of cuts. It's like, why are they cutting? I don't know. It could just be because he did a lot of pausing. I don't know.
Yeah, that does call it into.
Anyways.
It does make it suspect if he's cutting a lot, but he's letting him talk.
He
you know,
goes
it's
on.
not- I mean, he could
Yeah.
be cutting out important information, but he is letting them talk. So there's that.
Yeah, but he starts off. He tells a lot of life stories. So if people want to go back and listen to more stories of Kenneth Copeland, they can watch the rest of it. If you'll skip ahead to 47 minutes, I thought, Gary, you might be interested in this part.
47 minutes.
It's kind of something about Oral
okay.
Roberts.
Yeah.
I don't think it really has to do with like anything that he teaches. It's just
Okay.
a story. So if you want to skip
Well,
it,
let's
we
look.
can.
Let's look what he has to say here.
Well, when I was in the U.S. Army, we ruled the night. I mean, that's, but that's where it started. I am El Shaddai. El Shaddai is the God who's more than enough. It really refers to a woman's breast, that when a woman has children, like Gloria, for instance, she's everything.
Yeah.
She could understand what they said, and I didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
But she spent all day and all night with them. Well, I am El Shaddai. Walk before me and be perfect, be blameless. I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly. Abram fell on his face. And you might think like this, there's been a whole lot more times than once I fell on my face and God spoke with me. That was true when I went to ORU, because I had $24,000 left. I'd had an open vision. I knew I was supposed to be there. And I just fell on my face on this little house that they had arranged for us. I just fell flat on my face, man, just praying in the Spirit just fast as I could. And I stopped and thought, I wonder if he'd say anything if I was to. Well, it's about time. I couldn't get anything in edgewise. Get on your feet. Man, I hit a military brace. I was standing there shaking all night, just shaking all over. He said, I sent you here. I'll take care of you here. Your ministry doesn't start after you get out of school. It starts now. They can't make a minister out of you. I've already made a minister out of you. All they can do is train you. I went out and Gloria said, what happened to all night long? I said, well, there's my direction. So I had already been to orientation. Mrs. Campbell.
So just make
is
sure I
printing.
understand that, because I did lose it for a second. Saying that all that was God talking to him.
Yeah.
I've had situations where that happened,
So
where God would like chew my butt out when I'm acting all like
yeah.
reverent and despairing, and then he'll be like, "Shut up," you know. Like, I've had moments like that where he's done that. Don't know about you.
Kind of like a
Yeah,
Job thing.
yeah. I mean, mine was much more pedantic because I was being a baby, but I mean, I've had that happen before. So, I mean, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing like anything crazy so far.
Yeah, that's later. This is just what he bases
Okay.
it on to start with. The crazy stuff happens later.
This is when they're
and we'll get
arguing.
into that. Well, they don't. He never really argues with him, but he does talk over him, and he doesn't let Bryce talk.
Okay.
So he just kind of, what do you call it, man?
He talks overpowering. Yeah.
Overpower.
Okay.
Talk. Yeah.
All right.
And that's
So
later.
you want me to finish the story, or are we going to move on?
So the rest of that is just, he leads up to when he meets
Okay.
Oral Roberts, and that was more specific for you. But he went to Oral Roberts University, and that's how he got kind of his start into the ministry.
Yep. All right then.
I don't have any money. I said, Miss Campbell, may I make a collect call? Yeah, dial 9. I called my dad. He said, where are you? I said, I'm in the registrar's office in Oral Roberts University. Why? He said, Eddie Matthews. Now, Eddie Matthews was in the construction business. He had no idea where I was. Eddie Matthews came by and brought a check and said it was for your ministry. I said, how much? $375.15. Wow. And I had about the 15 cents later, and I thought, well, Gloria and I'll get a candy bar and go broke. So now he said he'd take care of me, paid that bill. And the Lord absolutely arrested me out there in front of the LRC. Go up to the 6th floor. And this just came out of my mouth. I said, no, that's the Vatican. I'm not supposed to be up there. Right in here. Not out here. Where any believer has it. They work for me. First thing I had to do is find the elevator. I couldn't do it. I pushed the 5th floor. Just open. Well, it was the first year of ORU. I didn't know it. It was the library. It didn't have anything in it yet. He said, floor 6. Okay. Remember now, I'll take care of you here. That elevator opened. I walked up to this woman. I said, my name's Kenneth Copland. I just registered for school. I'm a commercially rated pilot, and I need all the help I can get. She said, tell Dean Zanuck, sir, I just registered today, and I'm a commercially rated pilot. I understand this ministry uses aircraft. I need all the help I can get. He went, I turned around. My name's Oral Roberts. I actually stuttered. Listen to this. I got my first faith lesson. 2 weeks ago, I started to hire a new co-pilot. The Spirit of the Lord said, that's the same Spirit that said, I'll take care of you here. The Spirit of the Lord said, I have a student coming, and you're my man. Tell Brother Luis we got our co-pilot. The Spirit of God told him, no, don't hire that guy. I have a student coming that's supposed to have the job. He's not going to tell me that ahead of time. I'm going to have to walk by faith, which I did. Well, he became my father in the Spirit. That kind of trust, I realized out there in front of that LRC, he arrested me. I actually had where I just kind of stuck. I realized I could have turned and walked off and said, no, I don't have any money. I'd have been in a world of hurt because I didn't need any more money. Then later, this is what is so cool. A man by the name of Colin Steele was head of everything on the road. I was in 2 of the last tent meetings that they had. And things, he said, I'll take care.
So that's how he met
I mean,
Oral
I like
Roberts.
the story. I think that's a cool story. I don't have any particular
It's a good
reason to
story.
think he's lying. I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
All right.
What do you think, Cody?
I mean, I don't know. He might be embellishing a little bit, but he's seems believable.
Okay, at 53 minutes in, he talks more prosperity. We don't have to look at that if you
All right.
don't want to. If you want to get into the arguments, go skip way ahead to an hour
All right, we're
and
getting
20
about
minutes.
done, so we're gonna do one argument here. What did you say? An hour and 20? I mean, I haven't seen anything crazy so far, but anyway.
Yeah.
Calix says, I had to look up the age of this Bryce Crawford kid, and he's too young to have a podcast. Not eligible for anything.
He's like
0 life experience. Boo him off the stage.
he's like
23.
23, I think.
Nobody likes you when you're 23.
That's true.
It's
All
money
right, we'll do this
enough
one more, and then we're gonna call it good because it's
to
about the end
take
of the night.
care of everything you need.
Okay.
It's money enough to be out of debt. I taught that at the ministers' conference one year. And the pastor came back the next year and told me what happened. He said, I went home, and he said, my wife and I prayed, and the congregation prayed, and we're going to build this new sanctuary debt-free. So he said, I went to the bank, I went in, and he said, I asked him if I could see so-and-so, and they said, Pastor, he's working on your loan now. And he said, I went in there, and he grabbed me by the hand. He said, Pastor, it's looking good. He said, well, I just want to tell you we decided to do it debt-free. He said he changed, and he looked at me, and I will not repeat what he called me. You know you can't do this without us. He would have had that spirit in his life. It's because their money that he borrowed. There's this word kind up here, K-I-N-E. Do you see it?
In what verse?
In the 4th verse. The increase of your kind.
Mm.
That is the increase. That's not kind, it's kind. Now, they're farm people. All the oxen, everything you need. Because this is El Shaddai. Everything you need. What do you need? Come to me. The increase of your kind. Our kind here was aircraft because the ministry started with a little single-engine Cessna. But even with that, some man asked me, he said, why do you want an airplane? I said, well, to go fast. Why not? And besides, that is safer than driving down the highway. And I go to places for a meeting. Airlines don't even go there. And even this small 4-place airplane. And I was flying it and getting into places and but I needed a twin-engine airplane because this is not an all-weather.
Let me guess where this is going. This is gonna be, you shouldn't own a plane. I should own a plane because of ABC. Yeah, but it's a plane, and on and on and on. Are we getting a back and forth about the plane?
Yeah, that's kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of his. Well, that's Kenneth Copeland just talking. It's another story.
It's all right. We're running out of time. Do you want to pick this up next week, Trevor? And go through the argument? Okay, we'll do that.
Sure. Yeah, and we'll get into where it gets. They kind of go back and forth at about an hour and 30 minutes.
All right. I would like to wrap this up in about 2.5 hours. So, Calix says, I am honestly getting tired of Euro religion. There are so many denominations, and all they do is debate each other.
I agree.
I love debating, so I can't throw stones. So, as you can see, I would say it's a bad thing, but that might offend Cody. So it's
That's
debatable.
debatable.
So anyway, I think, I don't know. I kind of feel like God allows us to debate stuff because we're stupid humans and we need something to do. Maybe that's a little cynical, but I think, thanks, Helix. I appreciate it. But he said, LOL. It's like somebody's going to laugh at my jokes or I just die of shame. So, because that would be bad. But anyway,
You don't
what?
know nothing.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know nothing.
All right. No, you got to keep life interesting. So, okay. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up for the night. You guys have any final thoughts? You don't
Nope,
know nothing?
I don't know
All right.
nothing.
Only if you want to hear
What
about
was your
my
dream,
dream.
Trevor?
I dreamt that I was a muffler. And then I woke up
Oh,
exhausted.
I hate you.
Ha!
Oh, my God.
That was fantastic. Virtual high five.
I will not.
Oh, sorry.
Now, see, Cody, that's what I would call bad. That was really bad. Yeah,
Well, that's why you're
okay.
not God, Gary.
No,
Do you wanna hear
I
a science
don't. I
one?
really don't.
Come on,
Oh
it's
my
smart.
gosh,
It's
what?
science.
What? Get it over with.
Why do scientists not trust
Oh,
atoms?
why?
Because they make up everything.
See, my definition of hell is just dad jokes on a loudspeaker for all eternity. Just never.
Well, you must be as a child to
I
enter the
guess-
kingdom of heaven.
I
Dad
guess
jokes
so.
are for children.
Yeah, there you go. Profound.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that, Socrates. We'll move on. So, Calix says, good show hanging out again. Good show hanging out again, fellas. Yeah, we enjoyed it, Calix. Thanks for hanging out with us. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up.
Thanks,
So, thank you all so much for watching, and we